When are the Dokkan Fest Gamma banners dropping? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we are taking a look at the release times for the Dokkan Festival Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 and determining when it will be dropping in various time zones across the globe so that you know when you can prepare to summon. So, big shout out to Harry Turney over here on Twitter for posting this screenshot from his website for the release time of the Gamma 1 and Gamma 2s. It does look like it is 0630 UTC Greenwich Mean Time for their release time. Now, in order to figure out when this is releasing, we simply have to head on over to our handy dandy time and date time zone converter. We use this every time we do one of these videos, and I think it does a pretty good job of helping us figure out when they're dropping. So we are looking at the UTC Greenwich Mean Time of a 0630 time frame on October 28th. That is essentially tomorrow, depending on what time you are watching this video. But it's about 20 hours from the time that I'm recording. So for me over here in Honolulu, this is 8:30 p.m. on the 27th. So not a bad summon time for me. Pretty good time. Just wrapping things up, and I'll be able to get some summoning in. If you're over on California side, Pacific Standard Time, you're looking at about 11:30 p.m. Mountain Time, you're looking at 12:30 p.m. If you are on Central Time, CST, CDT, you are looking at 1:30 a.m. on October 28th. So, unfortunately, if you're anything beyond Pacific Time, you're looking at a pretty rough morning if you plan on summoning right when it drops. If you're on Eastern Time, way up there, New York, Florida, wherever you're at on the East Coast of the United States or up there in Canada, you're looking at a 2:30 drop time for these banners. Now, across the pond over in the UK, you are looking at 7:30 drop time. That's not too bad as long as you don't got work that morning. Should be, Friday morning for most people, right? So, really depends on what your schedule's looking like. But 7:30 you're looking at. Over there on France, CEST, you are looking at an 8:30 drop time. Same with the Netherlands over in Amsterdam. Now, I'm not too sure off the top of my head how many different time zones there are in these places, so I'm just going with what pulls up here on the website. If you have a specific time zone in any of these areas that I am not covering, all you simply need to do is head over to timeanddate.com, plug in your time zone to the little search bar up here, and figure out when your time is compared to 6:30 a.m. GMT, Greenwich Mean Time. Moving on down to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, we are looking at a 3:30 a.m. on October 28th. Now, it does look like you guys have a holiday over there. So you'll be able to summon, or at least stay up late and do your summons if you're trying to summon right when this stuff drops. Traveling across the world, we're heading over to Australia now. We are looking at about 5:30 p.m. So a little bit later in the afternoon than for the rest of us, but not too bad, right? That'll be pretty good time. Excuse me. So finally, we'll close it out with Mexico City. For those of you guys over in Mexico, CDT Central Time, we are looking at a 1:30 a.m. drop time. So unfortunately, a lot of the drop times when Global decides to do these weird drops end up being pretty rough for most people unless you're in certain places. I tend to be pretty fortunate that 8:30 p.m. is a pretty good time for me. Now, if any of your time zones are not mentioned here, as I said, you simply need to scroll up here. I think in order to show it, I have to remove one of these, right? So let's just remove this one, right? And then I can search in whatever time zone I need to search up for my location, right? Just type in a little one. If you happen to be in Egypt for whatever reason, oop, I misspelled that, right? Okay. You can go ahead and put that in and figure out your time zone, whatever that is. If you're in Egypt, you're looking at an 8:30 time, right? So this is pretty neat. Handy dandy tool, help you figure out. And if that is not enough for you, the greatest thing in the world, the Dokkan Wiki puts a countdown for you. So you can figure out exactly how many hours it is till the banners is dropping. So again, as I mentioned earlier, about 20 hours and 50 minutes from the time of me recording this video, these guys will be dropping. That puts it at about 8:30 p.m. my time over here in Honolulu, Hawaii. Now, I did want to throw out one last thing. Remember, this is the banner we are looking at for that drop time tomorrow. It is the featured Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, along with the Tech Ultimate Gohan, the Fizz Piccolo, the Tech Androids, the AGL 13, and the Fizz Broly. Now, these guys are very good, and in my opinion do carry this banner, despite the fact that it not being the most stellar banner in the world. I think the Gammas themselves do carry the banner pretty hard. But that is not all. Per the data download, we have some very, very interesting developments with tickets, the Justice Incarnate tickets. I'm going to take a wild guess, maybe not that wild, it seems pretty obvious, right? That these tickets are going to be used for the Dokkan Festival Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 banner. Now, whether or not they'll be handing out any free tickets remains to be seen, right? They did just hand out some free Halloween tickets. It's might not be too out of the realm of possibility that they hand out these tickets for free, maybe a couple, along with having some some purchasable tickets. Now, we don't know how much they're going to cost, that remains to be seen, but once we figure out the pricings, I'll let you know if they are worth your money, whether or not these are actually good tickets or bad tickets. Either way, I can see it being a good thing, especially if you're someone who's trying to save for Vegeta and Trunks or Heroes coming up next month. Speaking of Vegeta and Trunks, this is Dokkan Festival tickets, most likely for their banner when it drops, which we should be seeing some countdown missions here starting soon if they're going to be handing these out for free. So stay tuned for that. So anyways, guys, that is pretty much it. Banners are dropping soon, 20 hours. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited too. That's it for the video. If you guys liked the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And in the comments down below, let me know, how excited are you for Gamma 1 and Gamma 2? Do you plan on doing a couple of summons if you're a low-to-play, pay-to-play player, or do you plan on picking up these tickets here when they come? If you're free-to-play, do you plan on doing any summons if there happens to be discounts on globals? Sometimes we get a little lucky over here, right? We get some cool little discounts. If we do, would love to hear whether or not you plan on summoning if that happens. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.